part of expanding the business was to go into the internet and create a website. The one hitch with having an internet site is your internet service. And we started this internet business with dial-up, and it was almost more effort than it was worth.
Because our customer base is located so far away, we do depend a lot on our internet source. Our customers send us orders and some large files through email on an hourly basis.
Our students every day when they're in school, they have very competitive internet. They go home, they have to do a research paper. You know, my son just a couple weeks ago was trying to do a research paper at home. We have terrible internet. It does not work very often at all. And he struggled with that. That broke my heart, and I thought, man, like my son is going to be left behind in his education because we do not have reliable internet.
Being that we have, you know, different accounts, like our furthest one is Alaska right now. We have a brewery up there that puts it in their beer for a fall fest beer. And now we have them ordering online, but it's so slow that you gotta, you know, make a phone call to make sure everything's the right thing, and you know that the packages get there. So, you know, that's been a challenge.
2.5 years ago, we were starting to get a lot of information on the membership. Why don't you do for us what you did with electricity back in the 30s? Bring us broadband.
We began to explore running fiber optics about 2.5 years ago. It came about with some feedback from some of our membership asking, would you guys consider running fiber optics and providing broadband service? I was also receiving a lot of questions from our engineering group. Can we possibly come up with a communication solution to talk with our substations, with our electronic equipment? We had a strategic planning meeting, and this was one of the topics. The board asked me to take the first step, and that was to engage in a feasibility study.
Just like back in the 30s when we saw a real need for electric out in our rural communities, these communities needed that to survive. Well, the same thing is happening now with broadband internet. And it's so exciting to see our electric co-op seeing the same need here in 2019. And actually bringing high-speed internet to the rural communities is truly a game changer.
Over the next 2 years, we started working with other entities to look for some funding. We worked with the FCC. We participated in what they called the Connect America Fund auction that the FCC was running. So I would say timing was perfect. At the same time, a lot of discussion on providing broadband in rural Pennsylvania was taking place with elected officials. So we've started having discussions with Pennsylvania state officials.
Tri-County is the first rural co-op to receive this funding. And you know what, this was not just one person doing this. A lot of us pulled together in the same direction to make this happen. The very cool thing about this is that in Tioga, Bradford, and Potter County, we get to show the rest of rural Pennsylvania what it looks like when a rural community is now connected.
How do we improve the quality of life in our community? Well, you start with high-speed internet. It's a proven fact that people that have high-speed internet are able to do things that most other people cannot do in rural areas. And we call that the digital divide. So now, by us providing high-speed internet, we believe we're going to break through that digital divide and provide the quality of life that people in the rural areas deserve.
The build is a 6-year build. And the reason it's 6 years, it's just such a massive undertaking for an organization such as ourselves. And we've broke this down into 6 phases. Our phase 1 build will be around the Coudersport region in Potter County. We're going to build about 100 miles, but then we're going to continue on that same year and build the fiber optics around our 3-phase circuits that ties every one of our substations together. There's a reason for this. First, it helps us become more efficient and be able to launch greater levels of technology on our electric system, resulting in better reliability. This is critical for our electric system. Second, it allows us to tap off that ring anywhere on the system so that where we decide to build subsequent phases, we can build them almost anywhere. I believe what it will do for our region is going to be tremendous. What this technology can bring over the next decade can not only hit economic development, It'll hit healthcare. It'll hit education. Small independent businesses, medium-sized businesses, I do believe will flourish. In order for that to happen, they need infrastructure.
One of our strategic plans as we move forward is connecting people through telehealth, both from mental health perspective and also a physical health perspective. This opportunity to connect their homes makes it much easier for us to make those connectivities. One of the things that we focused on is with our home health patients. Currently we have opportunities for them to connect. We can take their blood pressure, we can check their vital signs today, but many of those homes don't have connectivity to send those signals back to us. So this is an opportunity to really build that fundamental service for our caregivers to really connect to their patients.
Probably our biggest challenge right now has been having students be able to have access to broadband, to have access to the internet once they leave the school building. The school building, they're connected, but once they leave, there's the challenge. And this initiative is going to help bring that access to more of our students when they're at home.
If one reads the trending that's going on in the United States in employment, is large companies are now offering up opportunities to be employees for those companies in any location, and that means the high speed becomes more critical. You need to have that in order to deliver the data and the capacity they need you to be able to work with, but you can do it from a hillside on Potter County and enjoy the quality of rural living and still command the career and the income that's being generated in the cities by being connected to a large company. And I just think it's huge. It'll also bring back some people, I believe, if they have connectivity. Housing costs have been one of those that they recognize the internet service and high speed are connected to the values of the real estate because people are looking for that service to be there.
As a member of the Ag Committee, we hear about it all the time. You know, the future of our farms is technology, and they need to be connected. If they can't be connected, they are at a disadvantage.
One of the many questions is, why did Tri-County Rural Electric do this in the first place? Well, it was a very strong team that had the insight to take a look at this project and to do a feasibility study and to find the funds to be able to build this out. So the real question is, if not us, who? And if not now, when?
With Tri-County bringing the project in, you'd be a lot more definitive in your business and a lot more responsive. People would be able to get a hold of you quicker, they'd get their package quicker, they'd get their order quicker, which is big in business.
We are very excited with what Tri-County is pioneering with their fiber optic options. One of the struggles here in our location is reliability. Our internet often goes down when the weather's poor, and that of course is a huge inconvenience to us and to our customers. It creates a lot of frustrations. My brother and I are very heavily involved in the business, and we're very excited to continue the business for my dad, and very excited that we'll have these options through Tri-County that will be able to expand our business through their fiber optics.
It's going to be like putting tires on your car and being able to drive it somewhere by having fiber optic in the area. I was talking to my son this morning, and he knows people in Philadelphia that had fiber optic 10 years ago. I think it's high time that the rural areas of Pennsylvania, maybe not profitable to put it in here, but we deserve fiber optic as much as anyone else.
I firmly believe that Tri-County Rural Electric, Trico Connections will deliver a brighter future for our region.